Alright, so now we got a video about a logarithm. A logarithm is defined as this: log base b of y is equal to x if and only if b to the x power is y. In other words, this base raised to this exponent equals this. That's the definition of a logarithm, and that is why logarithms are used to help us find missing exponents, because it's finding the missing exponent that gives us the number y. We use this in a real life context when we look at something like our bank account and we want to find out the time that it takes to reach a certain amount. And so instead of plugging in a time, we actually plug in an amount, like say $2,000, and we want to know how many years it needs to be left in the bank. That is where we use a logarithm to help us find that missing exponent x, because a logarithm is equal to that missing exponent. So one of the things we learn to do is we learn to rewrite them. We learn to rewrite from logarithmic form into exponential form. And this was using the definition. And I told you, if you know this definition, it'll help you out with a lot of the things we do with logarithms. So when we look at this base raised to this exponent equals this. So 3 squared equals 9. That is rewriting from logarithmic to exponential form. Rewriting from exponential form into logarithmic form is just going backwards. So you just take this base to this exponent equals this, and you put it in logarithmic form. So it'll be log base 4 of 4096 is equal to 6. Because again, this base raised to this power equals this number. So then what we found was some values for logarithms. Finding some values for logarithms involves using that definition to try to fill in what the blank should be. In other words, in this one, 3 to what power is 81? Well, the answer would be 4. 3 to the 4th power is 81. 64 to what power is 8? You have to remember some stuff from the last chapter with radicals. 64 to the 1/2 power would be 8, because remember, 64 to the 1/2 power really means the square root of 64. 10 to what power is 1000? 10 to the 3rd power is 1000. Some of these should always be easy. When you have log base 17 of 17, you're always going to have 1, because 17 to the 1st power is 17. So anytime you take a logarithm of the base, you're going to have 1. Same thing if you take a logarithm of 1, it should be an easy one. 3 to what power is 1? 3 to the 0 power is always going to be 1. So those should always be some easy ones that you can do. The rest of them you may have to think a little bit. You may have to use your calculator to help you a little bit. Use your brain to think out what base to this power equals this.